Hi, Ramona Larson here, race director for the Maguntacook Trail Festival. This is a mandatory pre-race video that is in lieu of having to come to a pre-race meeting. It's important that even though it's a video, you don't have to be here, so you still have to watch the whole thing. I'm gonna try and move through it as quickly as I can. First things first, number one rule is safety. This is a tough course. It's definitely not an entry level 50K, 7,000 feet of elevation, 9 summits. It's steep, it's technical, it's very slippery if it's wet. So you need to make sure that you're adequately trained and adequately equipped. While you're out there, please stay safe and listen to your body. Coastal Mountain Search and Rescue will be all over the course, keeping track of runners. They are there to help you if you are injured or ill. If you need some help while you're on the course, there's a phone number that is right on your bib that you can call, and we will send somebody to find you and help you out. Please make sure that you're carrying plenty of water. The longest distance between aid stations is 8 miles. Make sure you have more than enough water to get you from one to the other. Later on in the course, even though the aid stations are closer together, they might not seem that way because the course gets slower towards the end. There's some really steep technical bits in the last 10 miles of the course. Make sure you have enough water. There's details on the website of the distances of each aid station, so you can plan ahead. We do not have disposable cups at the aid station. You need to make sure you have your own receptacle to drink water at the aid stations and also to bring water with you. Same with the fuel. You want to make sure you have enough fuel to get you from one station to the next, but we don't provide like pre-sealed single serving snacks. So you have to have something to put your jelly beans or your pretzels in. You have to have a little Ziploc or something along with you to carry. This course is amazing. We cover almost every trail in Camden Hills State Park, but it is not a simple point to point or one simple big loop. There is lots of twists and turns, which means that there's a lot of intersections. Some of the intersections you're going to go through twice. So you need to pay attention to the signage. Everything is marked really well. You need to just look and pay attention and know what you're looking for. I'll show you some more of the details of the signs in a minute, but it's also a really smart idea to just know or get a general sense of the course ahead of time. Attached to this email is a great map made specifically for this race. It shows you where all the aid stations are, where the porta potties are, all of the other stuff, you know, the directions that you'll be going on the trail. So that's a great thing to either, you know, learn, like just take a really good look at it ahead of time or bring it with you. We will have some printed out that you could pick up at bid pickup or pick up before the race. Also attached to this email is a GPX file as well as the link to the plotter route, which will like actually shows you the whole course. But in reference to that plotter route and to the GPX files, there's been some amazing trail work done in the park this summer, which means that there's a few little places that have not been updated yet on the GPX. So there's going to be a little bit of a difference. Pay attention to the race signage and do what the sign says. You don't have to do what your GPX says. Most notably, the two big places I know this will be a problem for those of you who are following your GPX on your watch is when you're coming off of Mount Batty, the carriage road trail that you're going to take a left off of the auto road onto the carriage trail, it's now a lot sooner than it says that it's going to be on the GPX. So just go the way the sign says. It's a great new, really fun, really runnable trail. The other place that there's a big difference is once you're on the course deeply, 20 miles into the course, when you turn from the aid station to go up the slope trail, it used to be this long straight trail that went right up this kind of crappy gully. Now they've rebuilt it. It's this beautiful winding trail that climbs up McGunnacook Mountain, much better than it was, but it's going to differ than what it looks like on your watch. So just be aware of that and just follow the signs. There's going to be 3 different races happening all at the same time. The 50K race is the orange race. So your bib is orange, all your flags are orange, and all of the signs that tell you where you are gonna go are also orange. The flags look like this, and actually the other races also have these orange flags. So everybody follows the orange flags, but orange signs are just for you. These little flags will be marking up along the right side of the trail, on the right, in the direction that you should be going. If you are at a place where there's flags on either side of the trail, that means that you're going to be doing an out and back. So at some point in the race, you will be coming back the other way, but just keep those flags on your right. When you come to an intersection, as you're drawing near to an intersection, the flags will get closer together, and then right at the intersection, just so that we really know you're gonna make a turn or you need to pay attention, there will be 3 flags right next to each other, 1 foot apart, 3 in a row. And then these are the signs that we use to indicate which way you need to go on the trail. Because we're using these light little signs that are really easy to put up all around the park, there's not always a place right on the right side of the trail, the way that you're going to be going, to put the sign. So sometimes they'll be right there, right next to the flags on the right side, but not all the time. Sometimes they'll be on a tree, a little over this way, a little over that way. A lot of the times they'll be on the park, the state park posts that they've got their signs on. So to make 100% sure you know where your sign is, on the ground below your sign, we're going to have 2 flags that are X'd together. Above that, there will be a sign that shows you which way you need to go at that intersection. So let's just say that one more time. Getting up to an intersection, flags will get more frequent. Right at the intersection, there will be 1, 2, 3 flags right next to each other. Underneath the sign that's going to tell you which way to go, there will be flags crossed. These signs are orange. They say 50K on them. That's the one that you're going to want to follow. There's going to be blue signs out there and green signs out there. Those are for the 10K and the 20K. So just don't pay any attention to that. Sometimes they're going the same way as you, sometimes they're not. On these signs right here, you can see there's a mile number. That is the mileage about that you should be when you get to this intersection. So if you get to an intersection and your watch says around 9.7 miles, you know you're at the right place. You need to make that turn. If you get to an intersection and your watch is way off from what this number says, you probably are just coming in, you're just looking at the signs the wrong way. And likely at the intersection, you just need to find the one that does say what you need to say. And it'll be pretty obvious. I mean, it'll be the one that's showing in the direction that you're going. So don't get too hung up on that. Just use that as a point of assurance along the course. The state park also has signs out, or trail markers that are put up a lot higher. They're plastic signs like purple squares and red hearts and stuff. There was one point in the trail right in the middle, like along the ridge, where the park signs are marked by red X's that look a lot like what a lot of trail races use as a do not enter sign. So just don't pay any attention to any of those park signs. If you see a red X like that, it doesn't have anything to do with you. Don't worry about it. Follow your flags and your orange signs. If there is a point in the park that we don't want you to go a certain way, this is what the marker is going to look like. It's going to have the Maguntacook Trail Festival logo on it. It's going to be a red do not enter. We don't have the capacity to put one of those do not enter signs on every single little like unofficial climber trail or deer trail. If you're running along with your head down and you find that you've found your way off the course onto an unofficial trail, you'll know because you won't see flags. If you've gone for a few minutes and you haven't seen an orange flag, likely that you might be off trail. So just get your bearings and turn around and find your way back to the proper trail. That's only happened a couple of times, but it can happen. So just pay attention, keep your eyes up as much as you can. The park is open to the public, so there will be hikers out on the trail. Do not assume that a hiker knows the course. They likely don't. It's happened several times that we've had runners sent the wrong way by well-meaning but uninformed hikers who did not know the trail. Be very kind to the hikers on the trail, but just don't assume they know the course. We've got Coastal Mountain Search and Rescue, like I said earlier. They've got tons of guys out there. We've got tons of employees, not employees, volunteers all over the park who also know the trail. So go with someone who's got a Maguntacook Trail Festival t-shirt on. They do know the course. There's a couple of intersections where the runners might be coming from one way and going off a different way because like they're doing an out and back that you're just coming into, and you also have to do that out and back. So at intersections, don't just assume because a runner is running like off that way or down that way that is the way that you also have to go. Pay attention to the signs and also pay attention to the runners who are near you. If you see the guy who's been in front of you all this time going away, then he's probably going the right way. If you see a runner that you haven't seen all day going off that way, probably they're ahead of you and have done something that you still need to do, and then you'll be going off that way. But so again, it just comes down to paying attention, looking at the signs. Cut-off time on this course is 11 hours. That means 6 p.m. that you need to be done in order not to DNF. You'll still get a medal, but timing company packs up at 6 o'clock, so you won't get an official time after that. If you are still on the course and it is past 6 o'clock, getting close to 6:30, it would be really great if you could give a call to that number on your bib just to check in with the search and rescue, check in with us. We keep track of everybody. So we're gonna be worried about where you are if nobody has seen you for a while and it's late and you're still on the course. Cutoff time at the Maiden Cliff aid station, that's the last aid station that's at 26 miles, is 4:30. When you're there, you have the option to keep running if you want to and finish the course, or we can arrange a ride for you back to the finish line. So that is up to you. We have a soft cutoff at the ski shelter. That's the 20-mile aid station. So at 3:30, they're going to start telling runners that if they're not going to finish the course. So at that point, you have the choice to continue on and do the last 10 miles of trail, or it's a 2-mile quick run out to the finish line along the multi-use, and that's completely up to you. Please be kind to other runners out there, to hikers, to volunteer staff. Please, if you're going to use headphones, make sure that you keep the volume low enough that you can hear other runners as if they're trying to pass you, if they need a direction or anything. Keep your volume low. No crew outside of the aid stations. If you want to have someone meet you at an aid station to give you a little extra Coke or whatever you want, you're welcome. But no one hiking into the trails to create like little special aid stations for you out there. Take help from people at the aid stations, and that's it. On that same vein, no stashing gear or coolers along the course, just aid stations. You're welcome to have trekking poles on the course. Be careful with them when you're in close quarters. And also, if you're gonna have poles, you're gonna have them for the whole race. So if you start with them, you end with them. If you don't start with them, you can't pick them up at some point in the course. What else there? No dogs. So your family can bring your dog to meet you on the course, but you may not run with a dog. And that's pretty much it, except for that you really need to carefully read through this whole email with the schedules of everywhere you need to be, picking up bibs and showing up for the races and stuff, and parking. There's also a lot of great information on the website about like food at the aid stations and plenty of other information there. So thank you for watching. Please have an excellent taper week. Get a lot of rest. Really excited to see everybody next Saturday. Thanks for watching. Bye.